Back at our good friend David Smith's here in northeastern Alabama. David, thanks for having us down.
Yes, sir.
And you may recall, David's relatively new to the release process. This field had been a standard corn-soybean rotation for several years.
Sure has.
So David had the fall release in here, and you can't see it, I'll just pull some up, but I mean, he had a bodacious stand of cereal rye in the fall blend. And you remember us showing it was this tall, and then it got so tall we couldn't even see the redneck vine back there.
No, not at all.
And so David planted green, right? David, you planted right through here?
Yep, sure did.
And then how long did you wait for you crimped her down?
We waited maybe a week, 10 days, maybe, something like that.
And you got the summer release blend in here now.
Yep.
First summer here, right, David, on
That's
the
correct.
release process?
Yep. First summer. Yep.
And we've identified, of course, we got sunflowers and sun hemp and beans and peas and radishes and lots of good stuff going on in here, and it's an awesome crop. You're ahead of the deer herd. We talk a lot about groceries versus deer, and for years you've had more deer than groceries.
Oh yeah.
And at least here in the bottoms, you've got more food than deer. They're going to express a lot of potential this year.
Yeah, I agree. I really do like it, Grant. And one of the biggest reasons, and I guess most everybody that is at this level, we've all planted green fields, wheat fields, clover fields. We've all done that. And to go to the next step, most deer managers look to the ag industry, and they do that and to do something a little more than what they've been doing. And when you do that, you look at corn and bean rotation, and what that does is take you down a road that is different than what we've got here, in that we don't have chemicals, the major chemical applications that we have. We don't have that. We don't have the disturbance of the soil, and that's how I look at it. I like this type of system much better than the ag system, and it's not that the ag system is bad. It's just that the ag industry are trying to achieve a different goal than what we are trying to achieve, and that's really the only tools until your system. I felt like that was really the only tools that we had if we wanted to go to the next step. So I'm real pleased with it, and I'm glad you are, and you don't know how happy I am to hear you say that you're happy with it, but I really do like it. And we had a period of no rain. We went roughly 20 days with no rain. Stuff came out of the ground, got about that high, and then just stopped. And then in the last 5 or 6 days, we've had some rain. We had some rain last week, and this stuff has just exploded. And from what I hear you tell me, it's just going to get even more and more. So I'm really looking forward to it. You're
about to get some sunshine, and this stuff's really going to kick in. But I mean, no lime, no fertilizer, and the color looks good. I mean, you can kind of judge the health of plants by their color, right? So the buckwheat's already putting on a lot of flowers. There's all kind of pollinators out here buzzing around. The sunflowers, look at that, got dirt sticking to the roots. That's a good sign. Sunflowers are really healthy. And y'all that try to grow a dove field, you know that deer like to browse on sunflower leaves. I mean, that's a favorite forage, but David has so much good stuff that I have yet to see where they're really browsing on the sunflowers hard, which is great. That lets them get bigger, possibly make a seed head, which will be energy. Deer will eat those seed heads, you know.
They love them seed heads.
Yeah, but a lot of people try to grow this, and deer, they kill it about down here. It never even gets this big. So you're ahead of the deer. On the same acreage you didn't add any food plots.
No, zero.
Just got a good blend going here. If you'd had just pure beans in here, I bet it'd be pretty browsed. Is that your experience from the past?
Yeah, it would be down. I mean, what we normally did when we did beans, we put a fence up to keep them off of it, and that was a major deal. And now we don't have to do that anymore. And if we didn't do it, they wouldn't mow them to the ground. So. And
you're seeing deer in here all the time.
Oh yeah. I mean, they're in here all the time. Just like we see them in the winter. I mean, we see them. They're in here all the time. Just like this, it looks like it's a green field in the summer. Is what it looks like to me. So. Yeah.
So this will grow up big. Sunflowers make seed heads, and everything's gonna look good. And then David, you're just gonna come in here and drill a fall blend right through the standing crop. And you typically don't have to crimp when you're planting that fall blend, because the tractor goes through here, it's gonna knock enough down, put enough light down there for that fall crop to really grow.
I'm happy with it. I think it that we took the next level, the next step without using the ag industry, and we've gone a different direction, and I like it. The variety is what I like so much, and not only for the animals and to help them to reach their potential, but also it reduces the amount of input that we've got to do from harsh things, i.e. chemicals, from what we're doing here. And anytime you can get away from doing chemicals, the better off you are.
Yeah. Some people need a chemical about like we need a root canal every now and then because you get a bad weed system, but you can really reduce it. You're past that. And it's also a big cost savings. Those chemical passes and diesel fuel and everything are expensive.
Sure.
Fertilizer's expensive, so big cost savings to get a better crop. And so I'm thrilled. Of course, buckwheat is known to release a mild carbonic acid that frees up phosphorus for the other plants. And that's one big benefit of a blend. There is no magic bean. There's no one plant that's, inexpensive and drought resistant, does everything. But when you put a good blend together, you can cover all those bases. The blend is the magic bean. And so yeah, this I'm gonna bet when you give us an update in July or something, we won't see as much of that redneck blind. The sun hemp will get really big and deer eating on it. And if you stay on this system, you're gonna plant, crimp, and then plant in the fall, and that's it for the year. Look forward to seeing more, but hardly any insect damage, great diversity, building soil, feeding deer, just lots of great stuff.
Growing Deer is brought to you by Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's. Also by Green Cover Food Plots, Winchester, Moultrie Mobile, Fleet Outdoor Apparel, Morel Targets, RTP Outdoors, Fourth Arrow, Scorpion Venom Archery, Case IH Tractors, Ward Laboratories, Burris Optics, National Land Realty, G5 Broadheads, Prime Bows, and Redneck Hunting Blinds.
Here's some alfalfa from the fall blend. Deer hunters go crazy over alfalfa. It probably didn't show much last fall. Alfalfa's slow to start, but now that you've got it established, it's gonna do great, carry for several years, and you plant the fall blend again, you just keep adding that alfalfa component.
Yeah.
And look, you know how bad insects are on alfalfa. I don't see a hole in the leaf anywhere in there, and you're not spraying anything. And that's because we got a blend in here, and all that interaction between plants gets pretty scientific. There's some more alfalfa right here. So, man, there's really good stuff going on. And we got a little spot here, maybe the drill script or whatever. Almost no weeds whatsoever, with no herbicide application. Just, we got a little bit of alfalfa. We got a milo plant. I probably stepped on this coming through here, a little sunflower. But look how thick this mat is. And it's just wringing wet, holding moisture, keeping that moisture in the soil.
Yeah.
So, a lot of good stuff going on here. A lot of good stuff. The sun hemp has when it's young, pretty pliable, but they get a little bit of a woody stem, and that keeps deer from browsing all the way down. They pull the leaves off the side. You see how the leaves come off the side of it. They take these leaves, which are about the same quality of protein as alfalfa, but they don't top kill the stem, so it keeps growing. That's why it'll get so tall. Here's some buckwheat they browsed off, and what I'm seeing here, you got so much food. Deer just taking a bite here, bite there, whatever's best for them at that time. Whatever they need at that moment. Look at all the dirt sticking on there, and a worm right here.
Yeah.
And it's really, it's got that glue we talk about forming. And smell that. It smells like good garden soil. It's not sour.
Yeah. Let me bring my tomato plants down here.
I hear you. That's a good plant from a little bitty seed. Milo, of course, has a totally different root structure if I can get it out of the ground without it breaking. Bigger root structure. And you can tell where it's getting down where we haven't improved the soil as much. So you get a white root there, but on the top where we've really got the microbes working, you can see how that dirt's really sticking on the top part, and a much bigger root system, which is really breaking up your soil.
So that's what the white root means. It's not gotten down to good stuff yet.
Well, it's past the good stuff. We're building from the top down.
I got you.
So we're past good stuff, and the microbes aren't sticking to it yet. But here, see how that's just like glued on there?
Yeah.
That's where the microbes are going in and out of the plant,
Okay.
trading nutrients for carbon.
Okay.
But David, I'm truly impressed. Your crops are better than mine right now. You're a little further south, plant a little, got good rain, but your crops are, these sunflowers are over knee tall on me. Buckwheat's getting close to waist tall on me, so you're doing really good. You talked about the diversity and kind of working with nature, which is exactly what you're doing. And when we can work with nature or understand creation, well, that's just one way to bring us closer to the Creator. And hope y'all take time every day to be still, seek the Creator's will, and apply it to your life. Thanks for watching Growing Deer.